Hello, my fellow comic book lovers and 8 subscribers I think I have to my channel. We're all sort of, stuck inside. So I was thinking about making a video about some less, known comics in my collection. We all see videos, Amazing Spider-Man 129, First Punisher, Fantastic Four 48, First Silver Surfer, Conan #1, New Mutants 98, Hulk 181. And as a collector, it's really nice to see those issues in other people's collections, because in a lot of ways I found that, inspiring for me in my collection. And sometimes like very good advice about like, these are some books that you might want to acquire in your collection. If you're into it for possible speculation of the rise of value of certain comics. And so all that information is great. Seeing those comic books is great. But we all have a bunch of comics in our collection that maybe you don't see every day. So I was thinking about making this video to show some of mine. I'll try to make this quick because I have to film this on my phone, so it takes like a day to download. So let's get on to it. This is, all right, Avengers number 80. Okay, there we go. First appearance of Red Wolf. Really nice copy. I think I paid probably like 12, 15 bucks for it. I like first appearances of characters, Red Wolf. Probably not going to show up in a movie anytime soon, but I kind of like the character. I like his little pet wolf. Roar, we have been deceived. 'Tis said, man and wolf do lurk nearby, but I see them not. Well, turn around, Thor, because it's right there. Speaking of wolves, this is first appearance in the Marvel Universe of Werewolf by Night in Marvel Spotlight #2. Not a great copy. There's color-breaking creases, multiple sort of issues. I paid $9 for this. So I'm very glad to have it, proud to own it. I'm going to set these over here because I don't know how much weight this will hold. Another fun issue. Hulk 162, the very first appearance of the Wendigo. Kind of cool. He got much scarier and more monstrous looking as he was portrayed in later issues. But still, this is his first appearance. It's kind of cool. I like it. Love this villain. It seemed they were to do something with him in the Daredevil show. It never developed. This is the first appearance of the Gladiator and Daredevil number 18. I really love the spinning blades. Now, originally when they showed this, it was more like just like shields. And in later issues of this, it had the serrated edge where it was like spinning razor blades that, he could shoot. I thought that was like really cool. This is a fun issue. This is kind of interesting more historically than anything. This is Journey into Mystery number 82. So for comic book aficionados, you realize number 83 of Journey into Mystery is the first appearance of the mighty Thor. So there's actually an ad, on the back page of not ad, but a little blurb about the coming of Thor. I I paid like 12 bucks for this. The condition as stated was kind of really off. I was kind of upset at the time. There's lots of color breaking creases. It is certainly not the cleanest or best issue at all. Now that I have it, it's still kind of cool. I love like the Marvel monster stuff. So speaking of that, I think I showed this once before as a book, like, should I have this graded? So this is Tales of Suspense, number 31. Some say this is a prototype for Doctor Doom. certainly, you know, I think, you know, Kirby referenced this idea coming up with the Doctor Doom character, but certainly the character in the storyline is not a prototype for Doctor Doom, but still like a really fun cover. And this is really clean. It's really kind of nice. Presents really well. And, you know, it's really early, you know, Marvel issue. Love that. Showed this once before. Tales to Astonish. Got this for $20. They wanted 25. I noticed that. I said, hey, we take 20. They took it. Really happy to have this. They referenced this cover on the Marvel issue Fear. #1, they changed some of the colors, altered the artwork a little bit. So once again, historically, this is really kind of fun to have. You know, there's creases. Overall, you know, edges are nice for $20. I found Monstrum, the Dweller of the Black Swamp. Really fun to have. I don't see this one a lot on comic channels. This is the first appearance of the Dread Dormammu. I don't know why this doesn't show up more in people's comic book videos. A really key Doctor Strange villain issue to have. This is not the best copy. The pages inside are starting to get like a little bit tan. I spent $40 on this. It was in a half price bin. So yeah. So originally, this will focus. He wanted $100. It was in the half price bin for $50. I offered him $40. He took it. So first appearance of Dormammu, Strange Tales, 126. Good issue to have. Another Marvel monster, Tales to Astonish. The number's ripped off, so I don't know it offhand, but it's a 10 cent. It has been reprinted by Marvel a couple times. Gorgilla. I think I paid $20-something for this, including shipping. Like I said, I love the Marvel monster stuff. So despite the creases, it's still very readable. It's got a lot of artwork from those really early Marvel artists, Kirby and Ditko. A fun issue. Switching from Marvel, EC Comics. I have a few of these, not as many as I would like. In great condition, they can get very expensive. Piracy, #5, 10 cent issue. Presents very nice, great colors. The sort of interesting cover here. You know what? I like it. It's obscure. I like it. Another EC comic. Got this for $25. Crime Suspense Stories, #24. Once again, you know, there's some issues, there's some creases and stuff. You know, it's you know, maybe a 2.5, a 3.5, somewhere in there. I don't pretend to be a grader, but once again, the central part of the cover and the colors, because this is from the 50s. This looks pretty nice. $25, had to have it in my collection. Another EC Comics, Weird Fantasy, #22. Once again, there's some browning of the pages. You know, it started to get a little bit, you know, brittle where you shouldn't handle it too much. I would never have this graded. I'm just going to keep this safe. It's really cool to have. I think it's a Joe Orlando cover. Kind of cool with the spaceman and the dinosaur skeleton, the rocket ship. Once again, these were in the 50s. So this is before man landed on the moon. So I love those early science fiction stories that, projected what all lies we'd be living here in the 21st century with, maybe with or without certain health issues going on right now, but still a fun issue. Love that. Glad to have it. EC Comics, Weird Science Fantasy, number 26, another 10-cent issue, which you can see at one point somebody was selling it for like 25 cents. Wish I got it for 25 cents. I think I spent about 30 something on this. Really love this. EC challenges the U.S. Air Force with this illustrated factual flying saucer report. You don't see this book too many times. This is really fun to have. Very readable. Some spine ticks. There's a little chip out of the corner. Very readable, very pliable paper. Love this issue. Don't see this too much. Marvel comic. Not Brand Ech. They're comedy. I think there was either 14 or maybe 15 issues of this. They're all kind of fun. They make fun of themselves. They make fun of DC Comics. Super Duper Man. Really fun reads. Not, incredibly valuable. You can find them in really decent condition for not a lot of money. It's early, 12-cent Marvel Comics. Just really fun issues to get if you want to explore Marvel Comics comedies. Just a rando. Tex Dawson, Gunslinger, number 1. Rawr. It's probably not worth much, but once upon a time, like, if I saw a number 1 issue and I didn't have it, I was like, I'm getting this. This condition is like really great. Probably will never be worth much. Certainly far more than I spent for it, but Tex Dawson, Across the Frontier West. Oh, save me, Tex. Kind of fun. I don't see this much on videos. Not the first appearance of Defenders, which is Marvel feature number 1. I have that. This is the Defenders number 1. This is really good copy. The reds pop, the colors pop. No, major like creases, issues. This a 7.75 for sure. Maybe a pressing or something could get this to be an 8. There's some glare from my lights on this. That's not actually issues with the comic. The edges are clean, but I don't see this much. And this is a really fun issue. Once again, it's not super expensive. Defenders number 1 might be something to look into. Pick that up. And now I showed the Avengers, and I think that's the first appearance of Red Wolf, but if it's not, then this is. Marvel Spotlight number 1 on Red Wolf. And there's him and his wolf. Rawr. I dig that. I love superheroes, but I really love the sort of segue of Marvel Comics into westerns and horror. Like a World War, like Army Men and stuff, Nick Fury and his Howling Commandos, Captain Savage and his Leatherneck Raiders. I sort of like those little off niches of Marvel Comics. Once again, not super expensive. If you can find one in good condition, it will appreciate some, because most people don't collect these, and those high issue versions of this get rarer and rarer at each passing years. I like this. If you guys like Jack Kirby, what like Devil Dinosaur number 1. This is 8.5, maybe a 9. I paid very little for this. So little I don't even remember, call it $12 at the local comic shop a couple years back. But, Devil Dinosaur #1, kind of fun read. And also featuring Moon Boy, the first human. So that's kind of cool to have. There he is. There's Moon Boy. Hi, Moon Boy. Devil Dinosaur #1. Maybe something for your collection. I paid probably $3 for this. Shanna the She Devil #1. I got this years ago. They rebooted Shanna, made her much sexier and increased the size of certain aspects of her, which I won't talk about. So I got this for almost nothing, but once again, it was a #1 issue. I thought it was really cool. Shanna the She Devil, #1. Picked it up. Glad to have it in my collection. I don't see this much. This is, my stack's sticking together. Marvel Comics. 80s. It was more expensive than most issues at the time because it's a very thick issue. I want to say this had to be early 80s, 82, something like that. G.I. Joe #1, very pristine copy, easily a 9.0. Great issue to have in your collection. If you don't have it, once again, it's still relatively affordable. There's been some G.I. Joe movies that probably spiked the price at the time. But there's no really interest in G.I. Joe currently. So you can probably pick this up. It's the #1 issue. Good book to have. Another weird Western one. Marvel Comics #1, The Western Kid. I always have to laugh because, I don't know what the cachet is about the word kid in terms of Western, but you've got, the Western Kid, Ringo Kid, the Two-Gun Kid, Kid, Ringo Kid, on and on and on. There's so many. I don't know. I guess it hails back to Billy the Kid. I don't know if having kid in the name made it more readily available to younger, readers to go, yeah, man, I'm the Western Kid. I'm the Ringo Kid. I'm Billy the Kid. Whatever. But once again, I paid probably a couple bucks for this, but it is a #1 issue. It's Marvel Comics, 20-cent issue. This puts this, somewhere in the 70s. A fun read. Good to have. Supervillain Team Up #1. Now, this also was 25-cent copy somewhere.